Hi guys, so Gary Stevenson of Gary's Economics is back after many months of hiatus, and I have to be very clear about this. A huge amount of credit has to go to Gary and his team, but also other campaigners when it comes to talk of a wealth tax and wealth inequality. Gary has been campaigning for a long period of time against wealth inequality and the promotion of a wealth tax. And finally, politicians in different political parties are talking about it. Now, some people have said that Gary should get involved in politics more directly. He should run as an MP. I think that would be a mistake. But he does have a message for MPs. Have a listen to this.
If we don't fix the economic problem, we will inevitably get further and further and further to the right governments that are more and more extreme. Because it's the only way that politicians can sell themselves as new and sell themselves as believably being able to fix the economic problem. So at this point, I would like to send a message out to the Labour Party. Look, I don't hate you. I don't know what you guys feel about me. I don't want this country to go to shit. And I don't want this country to descend into in extreme fascism. And I'm not saying that's what Farage is, but I know that that's where we will go if we don't fix this economic problem. You guys won an election 1 year ago. You've got 4 years until the next election. Listen, I don't know what you think about me. I've got a very long track record of good predicting. I get paid millions of pounds by banks to tell them this stuff. I'm telling this to you for free. If you do not deal with this rapidly growing inequality of wealth, the economy will collapse and you guys will get absolutely smashed at the next election. But more importantly than that, this country will collapse into desperate, desperate poverty. I don't want that to happen, and I'm hoping that you don't want that to happen. This week, I've sent a few emails out to guys in Labour. I've tried to set up a few meetings so we can go and speak to them to see if they're interested in fixing this problem. I've got to be honest, I'm not super confident that the guys I've spoken to are going to be able or willing to seriously think about fixing this problem. If there's anyone out there, one MP in the Labour Party, who doesn't want the country to go to shit, then fucking send me an email, all right? Because at the end of the day, I'm a YouTuber. This channel is probably going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Coming up to the next election, I'm going to try and make it so you fucking need us. But more importantly, I don't want the country to collapse. If there's one single MP out there in Labour that doesn't want the country to collapse, get in touch. Because the truth of the matter is, if Labour doesn't deal with this, which it looks like they won't, the economy will get worse and worse and worse and worse. Labour will get more and more and more and more unpopular. Starmer will get more and more unpopular. Reeves will get more and more unpopular. They will end up in a position where they will probably be forced to do a massive rebrand and probably change leadership before the next election. And I want that new leader, and it doesn't have to be a new leader, by the way. Listen, Starmer, if you're out there, I'll be happy to work with you, you know. It's my country too, you know. I don't want it to go to shit, and I hope you don't. Whoever is in charge of the Labour Party going to the next election, if we do not have an offer on the table that is serious about reducing inequality, then it will be Farage, it will be reform, and I worry about what that means. So as this channel grows and grows, we become more and more politically powerful. After this video, we'll be doing a lot more economics explainers. We're going to do one on housing, why housing is expensive next week. But we do have to sort of recognise what we are. I don't do this channel just because I like talking about the economy. I do it because I don't want the economy to collapse.
Okay, I'll leave a link in the description to this full clip. It's 25 minutes long and it's really interesting. And he talks about many different issues, but generally around this. Now, Labour MPs, if they're watching this, they need to reach out to Gary. Gary has been correct on every occasion. He's been correct about Rishi Sunak. He's been correct about Donald Trump. He's been correct about Keir Starmer when it comes to the economy. And what is he telling you? He's telling you that if you don't deal with this particular issue, wealth inequality and inequality in general, you're going to open the door to Nigel Farage. I've been saying exactly the same thing. The way to deal with Farage is not pandering to him, not trying to out Farage, not stopping the bolts or smashing the gangs or stuff like that. People care about bread and butter issues. They care about the cost of living crisis. They care about how public services are going down the toilet. So if you truly want to deal with Farage, if you want to hold on to power, you need to deal with this issue, wealth inequality in general. Over the last number of years, billions of pounds have been transferred to the richest in society at the expense of the poor. And if you don't deal with that, you're going to open the door for Farage. Now, is Farage going to care about the disabled? Is he going to care about the poor? Is he going to care about the elderly? Is he going to care about ordinary people? Of course not. he's going to care about the rich. He's going to make sure more money goes to them. And Labour have an opportunity now. They could reach out to Gary. They don't even have to do a photo opportunity with him. They don't have to do it in front of the cameras. But they could reach out to him and have a listen to what he has to say. He's not asking for any money here as far as I know. He's saying, look, I'll do it for free. Just have a meeting with me. Let's discuss what needs to be done. This guy has been correct on every occasion. Now, is he a policy expert? I don't know. But he could at least, he has something interesting to say. And it's not going to cost the Labour government anything to have a listen to what Gary has to say. So if I was a Labour MP, I'd be getting on my email account straight away. I'd be getting on the phone straight away. I'd be trying to organise a meeting with Gary. He should be speaking to the Chancellor. He should be speaking to the Prime Minister. Once again, it doesn't have to be in front of the cameras, but behind closed doors if necessary. Because what he's saying is true. He's trying to give you advice. Look, Gary, and this is why I trust Gary, and maybe I'll be wrong, but my instinct is this is a guy who's pretty well off. He has said it on a number of occasions. So wealth inequality would actually benefit Gary and people like him. But he doesn't want that. He's actually acting in not his own interest. In his interest would be to cut taxes for the rich because he would benefit. In the same way as the patriotic millionaires. People will say to them, oh, well, just sign a check if you care so much about the poor and poverty. No, they want to change the system because they understand the system is broken. They understand that they benefited from public health. They benefited from public services. Funded ones, properly funded ones. And they want to give something back in return. And I think this... I could be wrong, but this is my impression of Gary. He's somebody who cares about society. He's somebody who has succeeded because of a functioning society. And he wants to give something back. But in the sense he wants the people who have succeeded like him to give something back. In the sense that we need to have a level playing field. Need to deal with wealth inequality. So much money has been transferred, and when I spoke to Gary on a number of occasions, he repeated this line. So much money has been transferred from the poor to the rich, and that needs to go in the opposite direction for a change. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and as always, your comments are greatly appreciated. But once again, do check out the full video. I'll leave a link in the description. It's really, really interesting.